Microsoft disclosed a critical vulnerability in Microsoft 365 Copilot. On paper, it read about as bad as a flaw gets. An attacker with no password, no stolen credential, and no user on the other end could pull information out of the service over a network. And then comes the part that surprises almost every security team I talk to. There is nothing for you to patch. Microsoft fixed it inside its own cloud. No update, no build, no toggle in your admin center is waiting for your team. So your instinct is to file it under Microsoft handled it and move on. I want to spend a few minutes on why that instinct is the actual risk. The exact tracking number for this one is in the description. Here's what we know. Microsoft's own classification is missing authentication for a critical function. That's the name. In plain English, a door that should have had a lock did not have one. And walking through it let an outsider read data over the network. Two facts keep this from being a fire drill. Microsoft reports no evidence that anyone exploited it in the wild. And the fix is already in place because Copilot is a service Microsoft hosts. That's the good news. It is also the trap. When Microsoft fixes a flaw in software you install, you get a patch. You test it, you deploy it. A patch is satisfying. It gives you a task and a closeout date. When there is no patch, the natural move is to treat it as closed. But no patch does not mean no risk. It means the risk lives somewhere a patch cannot reach. In the choices that decide what Copilot is allowed to see when somebody asks it a question. Here's the key idea for the whole video. When a Copilot flaw appears, the size of the damage is not set by the flaw. It's set by how much sensitive data you left reachable. You do not control Microsoft's code. You completely control that. So let's talk about your real exposure. Copilot does not have its own view of your data. It sees exactly what the person prompting it is already allowed to see. And it surfaces it faster than any human clicking through folders. If a loan officer can technically reach a folder of member records nobody meant them to touch, Copilot will summarize it on request. The permission was always wrong. Copilot just makes that consequence instant. And this gets sharper as Copilot moves into agentic mode. An agent doesn't just surface that folder, it can act on it as the signed in user. So the permission you never tightened isn't just visible to an agent, it's reachable by one. Same fix, higher stakes. Lock the access down first. And the scale is bigger than most institutions assume. One analysis of more than 550 million records found that about 16% of business critical data is overshared. That's an average of roughly 802,000 files at risk per organization. This is not far off either. A survey reported last year found that oversharing worries pushed 40% of organizations to delay their Copilot rollout by 3 months or more. Here's the work that actually reduces your risk. And every tool it needs already ships inside of Microsoft 365. There are 4 parts. First, least privilege in Microsoft Entra. People, and therefore Copilot, reach only what their role needs. Second, restricted content discovery in SharePoint Advanced Management. Flag a sensitive site and Copilot cannot service it. Third, sensitive labels and data loss prevention in Microsoft Purview, so protection travels with the file. Fourth, monitoring the Purview data security posture management for artificial intelligence, so you can see what Copilot is actually touching. One quick note on language, because auditors notice. We manage your Microsoft 365 tenant. Microsoft hosts the infrastructure. As a Tier 1 cloud solution provider, we run these controls inside of it. This is not only a security exercise anymore, it is an examination exercise. Examiners have moved from Do you use AI to show us how you govern it? The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Safeguards Framework and the Federal Trade Commission Safeguards Rule both require you to limit who can reach customer information and to monitor that access. A clean answer to an examiner has 4 parts: a least privileged model you can show, a list of sites you block Copilot from, a labeling and protection posture, and a monitoring record of Copilot activity. The institution that did the review hands those over in an afternoon. The one that did not improvises in the room. So here is where we come in. At ABT, we manage Microsoft 365 for more than 750 banks, credit unions, and mortgage companies. And we run this exact review as part of M365 Guardian. When the next Copilot flaw lands, the work that contains your blast radius is already done. This flaw gave you a free reminder with no fire drill attached. Use it. I have linked the full written guide below, and you can talk to one of our Microsoft 365 specialists from there. Find out how much of your data Copilot can reach before the next vulnerability does it for you. I'm Justin Kirsch. See you in the next one.